This movie's had a bit of a uphill climb, kind of from the start, with the fandom aspect of it, kind of going through, starting with your casting, Dr. Doom leaked set pick, The Thing has no pants. It seems like everything along the way, there's been kind of this toxicity that pervades the fandom.
Well, that's been great to see you. Thanks very much. I'm excited to talk about this film. But anybody else? Toxicity. That's a good one.
That is new.
I mean, it's not. You're talking about fans that become kind of slavish to the source material, that they don't give things a chance. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is you have these negative opinions of things that they've never seen before, they don't know anything about, and you wrote a fantastic, no pun intended, letter, kind of dealing with your experience, kind of going through what it was like with the casting, kind of the negativity that was out there.
I mean, honestly, I think any comic book film that comes out, it's going to be a certain group of people that feel betrayed or this or feel some type of way about a casting choice, no matter who it is. So that's just kind of comes with the territory. As far as it affecting our performance, you can't really pay attention to that stuff. I think we've been doing this long enough where we kind of block and tune that stuff out, and we prepare like we would do in any other role. We're extremely thoughtful of the history and the fans. I think everybody was moving forward of expectations and trying to Jamie says this often, like we all want a good movie just as much as they do. So I think we all try to approach it with that same kind of energy.
All the negative things that have been put out there, like you said, there's also a lot of really positive things. I mean, as soon as the first trailer was released, we had a lot of people saying really great things about it, and so, people just like to draw attention to the negative aspects of things.
So this is more of a question for filmmakers than I think for actors, because ultimately it's a director's medium, and the director has to make the film that he wants to make. He's the one who guides the ship in tone, in substance. In narrative, all these things, you can't make something with other people in mind. You have to make it for yourself. That's art. That's the way it works. You kind of have to be unrelenting and unforgiving about it. If people like it, that's a plus. If they hate it, doesn't matter. And, if it creates a conversation, if it breaks molds, that's important too. So I think you have to make it for yourself, and you have to forget about everybody else ultimately. And the expectations are high, but I have high expectations. We all should.
Yep.
When it comes to kind of this universe you're talking about, this is a much more grounded approach. The first two films, or the first two attempts to make a Fantastic Four film, much more cartoonish. How difficult is it to, as an actor, to take these characters that have very unique attributes and try to have them settle into a much more realistic setting?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to be a part of the movie, the challenge of that, the challenge of making a superhero film that is relatable, that you relate to these characters, and when we're actually using our powers, if there's a way to do those things while making people feel like it's real and not like it's some fantastical version of that. But we knew what movie we were making. I mean, it's the reason we all signed on to it. We wanted to make something different and a modern telling of the Fantastic Four series. And Josh Trank always had a very specific tone that he was looking for, and we talked a lot about it, and it was we were all very much aware of what that was.
The thing one of the things I think the film does really well is really gets into the emotional burden that these characters have as a result of this incident. It's not a gift, even though Johnny Storm, as a way of the character, is much more enthusiastic about kind of what he has. But the Thing is a very tortured soul. Sue Storm here is someone who is aware of the fact that this isn't natural. When you're getting into that, obviously everybody with a superhero wants the big action stuff, the set pieces, but when you're talking about making the characters count, how did you each approach, I guess, kind of getting into the headspace of these characters where it is much darker?
I think, darker compared to the first ones, yes. I think just more realistic in the sense of reality. I think that's kind of what we did. I don't think we I don't think it was that much of a stretch to than any other normal. We wanted to treat it. We want to treat these guys and characters as normal people that just so happen to be in these, unlikely, situations. So you kind of let those things play themselves out. With cinematography and the script and context, it becomes darker. But as far as prepping for it, you just have to approach it like you would, just as a matter of fact. And how would you react in a situation, and just kind of keep it, as realistic as possible without overthinking it. You can't overthink it, And I think, that says tons for the cast that we have. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Josh, again, we use the word specific a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially for someone like, for my character, for example, important to remember that there's a kid inside, who's terrified and like his future is uncertain, and he looks very strange. I think there's other lighter fare in this genre, in the canon of this genre. It's much lighter, and and that just wasn't the decision here. The decision was to do something which was just a bit more left of center.